Hey everyone, welcome to Movie Watch. I'm your watcher Steve, and today I will be giving you my review of the second season of Good Omens. Please be warned that I will be discussing the premise of the series, so there will be some spoilers going forward. To begin, Good Omens is the second season of a British fantasy comedy series that was created by Neil Gaiman and is based on his and Terry Pratchett's 1990 novel of the same name. The series stars David Tennant as Crowley, a demon who lived on Earth since the dawn of creation, who also just so happens to be the snake that tempted Eve with the apple. And alongside him is his co-star Michael Sheen, who plays Aziraphale, an angel who has also lived on Earth since the dawn of creation and is a lover of books who guarded the entrance to the Garden of Eden. The two have watched humanity grow throughout time and have become friends along the way, helping out each other when needed. They are a couple of pals who represent opposing sides and are yet very similar in their own way, as they have both grown to care for humanity. So much so that in the previous season they prevented the apocalypse. Sorry, spoilers. But as a result of the previous season's adventures, we find our heroes abandoned by their respective parties. Heaven wants nothing to do with Aziraphale, and Hell doesn't give a damn about Crowley. The only real difference is now Crowley doesn't have his apartment anymore and he's living out of his car. Other than that, not much has really changed. Aziraphale has his bookshop and the two are happy going about their business together without having to hide from anyone anymore, which is nice. But their tranquility comes crashing down when the Archangel Gabriel shows up on Aziraphale's doorstep, literally, and naked too. To add to that, Gabriel has no idea who he is or even that he's an angel. The only thing he knows is that something very bad is coming. So, Aziraphale and Crowley find themselves in the middle of it all again, having to hide Gabriel from both heaven and hell, because if they're caught harboring the Archangel, it means goodbye to their whole existence. So we follow the two on an adventure trying to find out just exactly what happened to Gabriel, as well as how they can fix him and get him back to heaven without getting killed along the way, all while also trying to get two humans to fall in love. It's a busy time for the two Celestials. Eventually, the two figure everything out after facing off against an army of demons. It turns out that Gabriel and Beelzebub have fallen in love and that Gabriel prevented the next apocalypse from happening to prevent the carnage that would ensue from the war. He removed his own memories and went to Earth to find Aziraphale for help. There's a lot more in between, but that's the crux of it all. As a result of Gabriel's actions and his going away with Beelzebub for all eternity, heaven requires a new archangel to oversee everything. And to finish everything off, Aziraphale is chosen to lead heaven, sadly, right before Crowley professes his love for him. And there the story ends, with our two Celestials parting ways, with Crowley staying behind on Earth and Aziraphale leaving him to rule heaven and enact heaven's plan for the second coming. I have to say, I really didn't see such a dramatic ending coming. I absolutely love how they finished the series off. The whole time the show was pretty happy and upbeat for the most part, so I was a bit blindsided when it all became so dramatic. Both Tennant and Sheen did a stellar performance. I really felt for the two characters as they struggled with the impossible choice in front of them. Aziraphale wanted nothing more than to return to heaven with Crowley with him, and Crowley just wanted it all to stay the same, away from it all, needing nothing more than Aziraphale by his side. I both love and hate this ending. It was performed beautifully, but is exactly what we as the audience don't want. We want our two boys to stay together forever. It really did just leave me wanting more, so they'd better make a third season because that ending simply will not do. But as much as I did love the ending, I will say I don't think it was a perfect season by any means. The boys were great, of course. Everyone knows that Tennant and Sheen can act. They were brilliant. But I'm sorry to say that the story itself was quite lacking for me. In comparison to the last season, this one really didn't do much for me. Unlike season 1, I didn't feel the threat of impending doom. To be honest, I thought that if the two just went about their normal business and left Gabriel alone, everything would have been fine and dandy. I thought the story needed to be a bit grander than just trying to find out how and why an angel lost its memory. It just doesn't really compare to the Antichrist now, does it? If they do, and I'm hoping they do, I think I'll be a lot more interested for season 3. I'd love to know where it's all going and what is going to happen with Aziraphale and Crowley. As the credits rolled and we were left with nothing but the two boys' faces full of emotion, I could swear that Aziraphale's face turned sinister towards the end, and that's something that intrigues me. Could it be that we will see the darker side to him as the story continues? I, for one, really hope so. But getting back to this season, like I say, the story was a bit lacking, but the humour was great. The show felt just like the first season, which I loved. Nothing had changed there. They managed to keep it exactly how I wanted and expected it to be. But I didn't really care much for the new villain of the piece, Shax, played by Miranda Richardson. I could have done without her entirely. I didn't find her character very funny, and I didn't find her threatening, which you kind of want a demon to be. If she'd been written better, I may have liked her, but for me, she did nothing for me. I did like the two humans that Aziraphale and Crowley were trying to get to fall in love though. I liked that dynamic, and I appreciated the similarities between them and the two Celestials, one being a bit of a hard ass and the other a happy nut. Overall, I thought it was a good sequel. I had a great time watching, and I really do want to see where the story goes from here. I hope Amazon renews it for a third season, because it really does deserve it. Michael and David need to return as Aziraphale and Crowley. They work great together, and I'd love to see more of them. But that's all I really have to say on Good Omens 2. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, then you might like to check out my others. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.